So turn down the lights, lock the door. It's time for DJs After Dark.
Hey everybody, welcome to DJs After Dark. My name is Danny J, along with Rob Cannon.
Yo!
I got Fast Eddie C.
Hey, what's going on?
We got DJ Matt Sunner.
Good morning.
And we also have the doctor in the house, Dr. Rock Ray Thomas.
Dr. Rock, A Star is Born.
There we go. Everybody's in the house. Welcome back to DJs After Dark. It's another great edition of this fine show. Thanks for all the support. Obviously, you can go to djbproductions.com. You can check out the links on there where you can go to the shows. Go on the YouTube channel and subscribe. We're getting the subscriptions up. Everybody's been trying to support the channel, which is awesome. But go in there and subscribe. We put the videos out all the time. Remember, if you like this show, we do have it in podcast format, but if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you get all the advanced episodes before it's on podcast format. That's your incentive to subscribe. So make sure you do that. But also, it is on Spotify, Google Play Music, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Blast, Caster, much, much more, all courtesy of Anchor.fm. So thank you guys for that. Today is going to be a great show. We're going to talk about something
Really big show.
Really big show.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about something that may not be something familiar to some of the people that listen to our show, and that's called nightclubs. That's right. It's called nightclubs. Clubs that happened at night. These are things, these are places where we used to go, hear music, dance, and meet women, meet men, whatever your case was, and they're going away.
Yeah. I'm glad you explained nightclubs and broke it down like that. because you know why? Every time I try to explain things in a breakdown tone, he says, "What do you think? People are stupid?"
So here's the thing. There's this word called tahi. No, that's the.
Is that different from a day club?
Wait, Ray, you cut out completely. We didn't hear.
Ray, we didn't hear what you said.
I said, is that different from a day club?
You know what? Maybe Google Hangouts has finally said we don't want to hear Dr. Rock.
That's possible.
We're not hearing him.
I'm hearing him.
Matt, are you there?
I'm hearing him.
Matt,
are you there?
I'm here.
Oh,
What about me?
I hear Ed and I hear Ray.
Oh, that's
technical
why.
difficulties on our part. We couldn't hear anybody because
we
we had
cut the volume down.
See, what happened was Rob turned the volume down, and therefore the volume went off, and therefore we couldn't hear people. I just wanted to explain that to everybody. I knew you were keeping track.
Yes, I thought.
I think we're professional. What a joke that is.
Okay. All right, the joke's on you, Doc.
Leave it to the professionals, so get Dan out of there.
Oh, do that sound one more time. Thank you. That was great. Ed's going to be my soundbite guy from now on.
I know.
He does great sound.
That sounded like Lady Gaga from the movie A Star is
So
Born.
anyway, we don't even know if you guys try to comment on what we were saying because we
turned you off.
We turned you off. Dan does that.
Hey, on the show.
I turn you
we're
off.
going to turn you on.
Typically, when I'm facing you,
Yes.
I turn Rob off a lot.
Yes, he
But,
does.
I do.
Now Eddie, he turns me on. Right, Eddie?
Yeah,
I'm
stop
starting
it.
to think you can get a trained pig to take my spot.
We're joking.
Just go hump his leg and get it over with, Rob.
There's one more thing we have to explain, that Rob is joking. He doesn't really get turned on by Ed. This show is getting really bad.
Yeah. I get turned on secretly by Dan.
On track here.
All right, go ahead. That's
Right
true,
there.
Ed. Thank you for keeping us on track.
Hey, listen. I ain't messing around here. You know what I'm saying?
This is a
Hold on.
subject
I-
that with Ed.
Hold on. Jesus Christ. How do I get this damn thing off?
Watching Eddie's background, I think we're waiting for tickets for Pink
As
Floyd.
you can tell,
Hold on now. I'm all confused.
there's literally no editing in
I
this
feel like
show.
I'm down at the Franklin Institute.
Walking through the heart.
It's yo Rock. It's Laser Zeppelin.
I am timing us. I am timing us.
Okay, thank you, Ed.
Gremlins all morning long.
Ed, are you trying to say something to everybody? Ed's trying to say something.
Forget it. Done. It's over with. It's gone.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Neither do I. All that was trying to keep the damn show.
Ed, we're not talking about your sex life right now. We're talking about what are we talking about?
And by sex
Nightclubs.
life, by sex life, I mean that Ed would have sex with someone, and we're not talking about that.
No.
I just wanted
Thank
to
you.
be a Rob for a minute.
No.
You know, okay.
Anyway.
Oh, jeez.
Why does my cute word say vagina? I don't know.
Nightclubs. There was lots of nightclubs. We used to have a lot of DJs used to play at.
Including myself.
including
Yes.
and with the nightclub, it came a certain persona. It was something where it was more than a bar, obviously, because although there was a bar in there and stuff like that, it was a place to dance. And although bars give you a little dance floor and stuff like that, with a nightclub, it was more so the atmosphere. Maybe it was laser lights and stuff like that. For myself and like Matt Sunner, we had pulsations. That was a big one for us. For Rob and Dr. Rock and
everybody had pulsations.
Yeah, pulsations were around for a while. But for Rob and Ray and Ed, they had some other clubs that closed down before I was able to go to clubs, that type of thing. But we're going to talk about that today because really not that many clubs around that. So, Ray, when I'm talking, you can't speak over me. I can't over it. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say back then they probably didn't have electricity, Dan, is what you were saying. Lamps and candles.
Like clubs.
Studio oil lamp 54,
Let's get ready for the Victrola.
The thing about nightclubs, though, I mean, it was such a cool thing because it was a dark atmosphere. It was usually it was a huge place. A nightclub was generally a very large area.
Yeah.
Multiple bars in there.
Cover charge.
Sometimes multiple theme rooms. So if you weren't into the dance scene, maybe you were into the alternative scene. I know Pulsations had that. They had an alternative room.
Yeah.
And they had multiple areas. They had cages where you could dance in the cages. It was crazy shit.
And what was that club? I used to work at it once in a while. I can't even remember the name. But on Delaware Avenue, they had a bunch of like rooms where they had 5 different DJs.
Maui? Maui?
No, Maui wasn't that big.
Or the beach club? Was it the beach
No,
club?
it wasn't a beach club.
Baja Beach Club.
Baja Beach Club was pretty wild.
That was crazy, but that was more recent though. That was a recent.
It was at the corner of Delaware and Spring Garden. I forget the name of it.
Yeah. You're not talking about Egypt, right?
Yes, it was Egypt.
Egypt is the one with the fire.
I've never been in. My wife went in there.
Dan, that place was insane.
I heard it was a meat
on fire, right?
I heard it was a meat market.
Yeah. Dan went in there and said, "Yeah, I'll have a pound of bologna."
And they were like grabbing breast like this.
I'll get a pound of bologna.
Yeah. Where's the delicatessen? Is this kosher?
Right. Yeah, but
number 39.
With nightclubs, though, seriously, all kidding aside, I was in nightclubs 5 nights a week. Honest to God, for years. It was all about the energy level that you created in the nightclub. Okay, all about the energy. It depends on the DJ, it depends on the staff, and also, of course, the clientele that came in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I miss nightclubs personally. I miss nightclubs. Loved them. They were just amazing. They were. I mean, Rob,
I think a lot of times buy and breed, honestly, and I relate with you because I do miss clubs. I as a guy used to like to dance. Mm-hmm. I used to like you said, I used to like the atmosphere.
You did like to dance.
I did like to dance. I used to like
you being a female at times.
Yeah, I used to like grabbing myself. No, but what
it goes off to the right again.
Yeah, but the girls did chase you because you danced too.
Because I danced, and the guys that didn't dance, they were chasing.
Yeah,
and I was running. You understand?
Yes.
This is what
I was
happened.
chasing you.
I was chasing.
You were
I was turning
doing
heads
the tush push.
It didn't matter if you had a penis or a vagina. You were looking at me.
Yeah,
because I was dancing.
Yeah, I said.
It didn't hurt that I was wearing 501 button-up fly jeans when I could fit them.
How about the time I offered to blow your nose? And it was chloroform?
Yeah.
Hook up?
I'll blow your nose and something else. And by that, I mean...
Here, blow your nose into this handkerchief.
Rob would be a horrible rapist because by the time he explained what he was going to do, he would already be gone.
Right. So here's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to hit you in the leg. And then I'm going to smack you in the head.
Remember that shirt that says Vaginas, I'm here? That was pretty cool.
Which one?
Vaginas, I'm here.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah, there you go.
Ray, you need to move over towards the door a little bit.
Why? To the door?
To the door.
Yeah.
Like
right in the baby. All right, cool.
You were way off center, man.
Shout from outside the studio.
Yeah.
Ed was getting me up with that Pink Floyd stuff and stuff. I was kind of like starting
That's
to
much better where you're at.
But no, Ed had a good point that there was such an atmosphere that made you. How about it, Ed? That you wanted to go back every week.
Yes.
And that was the thing. When you wanted to go to a place, we used to go, and the most recent, and Matt used to come with me all the time, and Rob DJ there. We used to go to a place called KP Corral, which was country line. In the 90s, that was the country line dancing and country music had an all-time high. It was a huge
it was
phenomenon. And KP Corral, which was in King of Prussia, that place was a great nightclub.
Yeah.
It had a big dance floor, a smaller dance floor out towards the front, which really nobody ever really went to. They more was like
practice, yeah.
And then there was a downstairs where they did karaoke and stuff like that. And we would go there to do country line dancing. Rob would mix in modern music as well, and so on and so forth. And they made it so that there was adult nights, there was teen nights, you know, that type of thing, so that everybody could enjoy it. With that place, though, yeah, thank you. With that place, though, it was something where, like, we went like once or twice a week. Once we became like over 21, I'd go on a Friday night, I'd go on a Sunday night. You know, Sunday night was like
we were there almost the entire weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, and then we were back there on Sunday to hang with all of our friends who were underage.
And Matt, I don't know if you did this, but I know a couple of our friends used to do this. We would put on during the week, maybe like Monday or Tuesday, put on CMT, the channel CMT,
right.
And they had a Black Horse Saloon.
Oh, right. I remember
that show?
Yeah.
And what it was like the country version of Dancing on Air.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
Oh, yeah, I never saw that.
No, yeah, we were on like around 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was working until 6 o'clock.
Oh, there you go.
I wasn't like you, getting out at like 4 and having other days during the week.
You didn't go to work back then.
I went to work. What? Please. And what happened was, though, you would watch that, and you would watch it. It was like a Dancing on Air. So imagine they're playing the top 40 country hits. They had people dancing, and they were line dancing.
Now he's doing me again. He's describing the whole show.
And then what happened was I would turn the TV on, and I would put on the channel, and then I would say, "Why? This is not the right channel." So I would have to change the channel. No, so what happened was you watch it, and I found myself honestly longing to be a KP Corral. Literally, like I'm watching this, I'm like, my God, I want to just get dressed right now, get in the car, and go and do country line dance, and then go to the club. It was if for some reason I couldn't go, I was upset.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I physically
at 8 o'clock in the morning, Dan, and the place is locked. Then you can't get upset.
And I'm banging on it. And let me tell you something, guys. This is why I have a tolerance that I do for alcohol on Fridays, and Matt is my witness because Matt used to fucking do this with me. Fridays, we would get out of work. Literally, we would be getting changed on Route 76 getting there. Matt would get changed before. He would take time to get changed. I'd work until the last second, clock out, get in my car, and I'd literally be on 76 doing about 75 miles an hour getting changed while I'm driving, right?
And they talk about texting and driving. How about getting changed and driving? Or girls putting on their makeup.
Right? So then get there for 4:30 in the afternoon when it opened. The doors opened at 4:30.
Right.
Happy hour didn't start till 5. Okay, but doors open at 4:30. So get in there, start drinking at 4:30 in the afternoon. Now this place would offer you a free buffet barbecue.
Alrighty then.
Yes, and we would eat the food and obviously drink. And this was the great.
That was your dinner.
That was dinner.
Coming in there,
right? And here's the thing: this is 1990. Matt, what was it? 1990?
95, 96, 97.
It was before that.
No. It was about that. It was about that time. We were at the
Circuit
City at the time.
We both started there in 95.
Yes. And here's the deal, man. We were paying $2 for 16-ounce drafts. That was the deal.
But back then, was that a good deal?
No, I think it was average.
Yeah.
Because it was.
I remember there was bars that used to do dollars and quarter nights.
Well, they said penny nights.
There was.
Believe me,
I used to go to a club on Wednesday night down on Delaware Avenue. It was a penny a drink.
Yeah, penny drinks.
Yeah, Wade's used to do that.
Wade's, which was Bootleggers, which was now I think it's Warehouse 24.
Yeah, it was like Ground Zero, then it was Wade's, and it was Bootlegger. Then it was Brownies. But they would do Friday night happy hour.
That was Wednesday night, Matt?
It was Friday night. It was the any coin, any drink happy hour. You roll in there with a roll of pennies.
We were there during the week, though,
And-
too, remember?
I don't know about during the week because I was never there during the week.
We went there on Tuesday night, I remember. And it was like
We may have gone there once or twice on Tuesday, but mainly that was like our Friday deal once KP closed down.
And here's the deal, man. Matt Sunner, like we used to go with some big time players as far as like meeting women or concerned.
And Danny,
Yeah.
what were you in rehab?
Yes, I pretty much. It was me in my hand. No, but we used to go there, and here's the thing about Matt. And I always said back then, and I said to all my buddies and stuff like that, because we had buddies, and I'll keep their names out of it and stuff like that. But we had certain buddies that really thought their shit did not stink.
Yeah.
You can. Some of them were like this. Well, I guess. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You're like, why aren't the ladies all hanging off of
Why
me?
aren't they hanging off me? Here we go. We would go to this.
Are we talking about a certain person's brother?
Person's brother. Yeah. So he couldn't understand it, and we would go out. He would come out with us, and we'd go there, and there were some women there. Now, granted, and I'm going to harken back to something that Dr. Rock says all the time. It was Delco, but actually, it was Woodland. It was Woodland, but it was Delco, really. But we would go there, and there would be all these hot girls, and because it's penny drinks, people are getting sloshed. Right?
Yeah.
You know, they're just getting trashed.
Was the drinking law strict? I don't think so.
No. And there would be girls over there and stuff like that. And then I almost said his name. And one guy was like, "Oh, that girl's really hot. Oh, that's good." But he never make a move, right? Never make a move. And this is someone that like thought his shit did not stink.
Yeah.
So Matt was like, "Fuck it, I'll go talk to her." And he would just walk right on up to her. Hey,
the name?
I still remember the one night we're all on the dance floor. There was this one girl sitting up on that elevated section where they had like the pool tables.
Yes.
And I remember it's you, me, that particular person, the one who had the mobile liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
Oh! Remember I always had his trunk full of booze. We'll leave his name out of it.
Yes.
And we're all standing there. Everybody's checking this girl out. And everybody's like, "Oh, no." Dan's like, "Well, I'm not going. I'm engaged. I ain't talking to her. I want to keep my testicles." And the other three guys, I'm like, "Okay, so what do you one of you guys are going to go talk to her?"
Matt was the ballsy one in the group.
That was the ball.
Yeah. The other guys are basically doing like the whole Lenny and Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley thing. It's like, you know. And I'm like, "Well, which one of you players are going to go talk to her since you're all hot?" And they're like, "I'm like, screw you. I don't care. I'm going to go talk to her if none of y'all are going to." I just literally walked over there, and I was like, it was probably the best thing I've ever said in my life. And if she didn't have a boyfriend, I probably would have been in. But I just walked up to her, and I'm like, "Look, I've been trying to think of something clever to say to you all night long. And the best thing I can come up with is, 'Hi, I'm Matt. How you doing?'" She laughed, shook my hand. "Oh, I'm doing great. Blah, 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 blah. We're talking. It was great."
You met your wife, by the way.
No, it's not.
Now he met her in a lineup.
That's the man that
Number 4. It wasn't the guy, but he's cute. I like him. Can you get his number for me?
I'll talk to you again.
Ray.
Coolest punchline though to women. I have cash, and
Dr. Rock.
it worked.
Dr. Rock. I just have one question for you.
Yes.
Do you still use the same line
Do I make you horny?
when you're at the places, you know?
What made Dr. Rock what was Dr. Rock was I was never afraid of women, and I always had a personality, and I always didn't care. I don't care if she was in a hot 10 or a hot 3. I didn't care. It was always
I watched Ray work, and he'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Dr. Rock." And he goes, "What's your name?" And she'd be like, "Oh, my name's Jane." He goes, "Oh, I want to call you Dr. Rock. So, Dr. Rock, how you doing?"
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
What a great time. I mean, but these were the things, these were the fun times that we had and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the funny thing about it. It wasn't revolving around drinking. It wasn't revolving around getting smashed and
It wasn't.
down the bathroom. This was the fun antics that we were able to have at a place that supplied us an atmosphere for everybody to meet.
Mm-hmm.
In a weird way, clubs were like a social club UN for everybody to meet.
But what I don't get is why they went away.
And that's the thing, and I don't know the reason
I think I
why.
do know why.
I think it was expensive.
Seriously,
I think it was
the
expensive.
reason why I think a lot of bars are dying and clubs are dying is because of the drinking laws. If you think, although Uber and Lyft, plug for them, they actually brought back the life because now
In a way,
because nobody wanted to get a taxi. We have always had taxis.
Well, as
it was
DJs,
$25 to go
as
around the block.
DJs, forget about clubs for a second. Just bar DJing and whatever. There were certain nights out of the year where we were like, don't make any plans because I'm going to need you to work, type of thing.
Day after Thanksgiving.
The day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was a big one.
New Year's Eve.
Witches and stuff like that.
Christmas Eve,
No, not Christmas Eve.
Well, yeah, because Christmas night, Christmas
at
night.
some clubs, Christmas Eve, one.
But Christmas night was a big one too, because people after they ate would come out. Christmas,
KP did that.
Yeah, and I did a couple bars. The bar that me and Ray worked at, they had a big thing for Christmas and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
remember that? And the thing was though is that those nights all died off. And when you check around, because obviously we'll sit there and say, all right, well, why is this not busy? We need to call around. We need to find out what's going on. Is it me? What can I do to fix this if I can fix this, etc. And what it would end up being is that a lot of people would be home. And the reason why they'd be home, there'd be like 18 million checkpoints between one spot and another.
Yeah.
And,
but I think Rob hit it when you said it, Rob, when you said about the drinking laws. And I remember back in the days, Dr. Rock days, people would come out on a Friday night, Saturday night, and a Sunday night. And you would see the same group on a Friday night, a Saturday night, and a Sunday night. They didn't care. And then on Sunday nights, you would see the owners of other clubs coming out to see you or whatever, because they wanted to see, hey, do I want him in my place or I don't want him? I think now people come out and they set it for one night. They either come out Friday night or they come out Saturday night, Sunday night. You can forget it now. So their only night out is one night a weekend. And like Danny said, now you got to be careful of the checkpoints and everything. I don't know me. I only have like 1 or 2 beers and then I drink like 15 Coke. I get leery when I see an intersection where there's cops left and right. And I know I'm not a problem, but I think everybody's got a fear factor now that's ungodly.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is too, you have more people that are working more hours. So they only even have, like you said, that one night. And they're not staying late because they're all got to be up in the morning, so they're not going out as much. Now, I know, again, when we were young, and I don't know why people don't do it anymore, I guess because they're too involved in their phones, but we would be there drinking until 2 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. We would not be in no situation to drive. You'd have like 15 or 20 of us. We'd all pull our cars up together and hang out and keep hanging out in the parking lot until like 3 or 4 in the morning, sobering up.
Yeah, he's exactly right. At KP Clear, getting back to what I was saying before, like we would show up at 4:30 in the afternoon, and Matt can corroborate this. You could corroborate this because you were there.
Yeah.
Start drinking at 4:30. Okay, we would. I'll say for me personally, because I know other people did the same thing, but I would drink steadily from 4:30 in the afternoon on a Friday until roughly about 12:30, 1:45.
Till your money ran out.
No, I had a lot of money. but
never bought us a drink.
Dan and I did well for ourselves back then.
That's why
I had a lot of money working for Rob. I want to talk to you.
I was paying $2 a 16-ounce draft. I was paying $2. No, I wasn't working for Rob back then. I was paying $2 a 16-ounce draft. So imagine, my money was stretching. Okay, and the thing was like drinking from 4:30 in the afternoon till about 12:30, 1:45 in the morning, Saturday morning. You sober up between 1 o'clock in the morning and 3, because Matt would say we would stay in the parking lot and just kind of hang out. And then at the drive home on 76, I'd be like an old lady like this. I'd be on my wheel and I'd be turning with my wheel 24 miles an hour because I couldn't see. Sometimes I forget to put my headlights on. But you know what I mean? Like, but that's what we used to do. And God forbid you could never do something like that. Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is you say that, but elderly people past, say, 65 and up right now, they still will go and drink and they'll drive around acting like no big deal. My father-in-law is 80-some years old. He'll come over, have about 6 or 7 glasses of wine, and he's feeling pretty good, and he leaves, and I'm like, hey, be careful driving. He's like, oh, I'm good. You know, my father was like that too.
My mother was like that. But she
I have a high tolerance. A lot of times when you DJ, you get to drink for free.
But it's not even that.
But-
It's that the fact that if they get pulled over,
Well, yeah. Well,
even if they're not drunk, they're able to drive. They get pulled over.
yeah,
they're
if you're driving like an asshole, you'll get pulled over.
yeah, but not even
Not all
that.
the time.
How about the DUI checks?
You avoid them.
You
And the
try.
way you can avoid them, is usually I'm lit up like it's the daytime.
only in Delco. All right, only in Delco.
Ed, you used to
Ed frequented
Drink a lot.
clubs.
Mhm.
Ed frequented clubs. He said 5 nights a week.
5 nights a week. Yep. And I wasn't drinking like Dan, like you see, you were drinking the $2 or S and whatnot. I used to drink top shelf.
and, yeah, and
Top
plus he
shelf
used to
had it.
get free drinks.
Oh,
A lot of
Gras.
expensive
Remember what was it, Mardi Gras?
everywhere you went to.
Ed's
Dude,
oral skills
He-
were phenomenal.
he,
His oral skills.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Hold on.
Give me 2 seconds, and then you can start talking again, Dan.
I like that, Ed. Tell him.
All right, just sit back for a second. All right, and keep
Think laughing at my jokes.
now, like when Rob used to work at Mardi Gras, all right, they used to see us coming in because it was huge. It was a huge nightclub. The bartenders used to have pictures before we even got there.
Flashback.
Right. They used to have pictures. I'm not talking like little tiny glasses. I'm talking huge pictures of drinks waiting for you.
And
Rob?
phasing out of existence. I don't know.
Yeah.
You remember that? Oh my God,
And it's like Back to the Future. Your
man,
father just like
I missed that. But you know what? And you're talking about nightclubs.
Go
I
ahead.
can tell you, but I'm not going to get involved into it here. Why nightclubs have disappeared?
Like you are starting to disappear on the screen.
disappearing the screen right now.
Right.
Marty McFly fucking
I can tell you why. Right?
Someone went back to the future.
Oh, Back to the Future.
and they're
they
trying to kill
fucking- they
Ed back
fucked
in the
Ed
future.
shit up.
Go ahead, Ed. We're just
Forget it. I went out of my mind. I'm old. I forgot what I was going to say.
now you're saying how you used to go to the clubs and drink a lot, and a lot of places when you came in, the bartenders knew what you wanted to.
They did. That is one of the reasons why people used to go back to nightclubs.
Yeah.
That's another.
It was kind of like
Personalized service, and this goes back to something I said before about the bartenders, about the DJs. When you're approachable, and you are someone, because remember I said it in a couple episodes ago, people go out, if they wanted to just hang out and drink, they would drink at home. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way.
They go out there for a certain reason, for the socialization, for relationships, a number of different reasons to get away from whatever's bothering them in their life, either at that moment or in a larger time span. So when they would come out, the bartenders, if you would say, "Hey, Ed, good to see you again, buddy. There, let me get you a drink." If they remembered what you wanted as a DJ, we would remember their song. How about it, Ed? If you came in and I would say, "Oh, Ed likes that Robin S song because his favorite."
show me some love.
Love.
so if that came on, Ed was like, "Oh, this guy, I'm the king of this." Ed would feel like, and I'm not saying, I'm using that as the example, would feel like the king of the night because he say, "Hey, the DJ remembers my song, the bartender remembers my drink. I am the shit right now.
Well,
I feel good."
You remember back in the day, you were my sidekick at BP Corral. No, not that way, Ray. He was like the guy, the go-to guy with the microphone.
Yeah, I was.
Remember? And Ed at Mardi Gras, you were my to-go-to guy. I would talk to you on the mic. I'd be like, "Yo, Eddie C," and you go, "Rrr, rrr."
Had it all going on. I mean, that place was crazy. I mean, even when I was with Q102 back then too, it was amazing. I miss the clubs. I do.
Yeah.
I need to go out and tie one on somewhere.
I'm surprised you guys haven't brought this one up too, but back in the day, the Dr. Rock days in Wildwood, all the clubs that were like down the shore,
Wildwood had a lot of clubs.
it made it great because you didn't really have to drive anywhere. You got a room or whatever, and you
Walk. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
then that opened up the whole idea of people getting together and having a good time. And if you wanted to sex it up, you did. Or if you wanted to hang with like 42 buddies for the night and meet a bunch of girls, it was. And I think that's part of the problem with the Jersey Shore nowadays. I mean, they have a couple big clubs, but they used to have over like 100 clubs that you could go to different clubs and have a different atmosphere of what you were looking for every night. Whether you wanted to dance, whether you just wanted to sit there and talk to the girls, or whether you wanted like fantasies. There was all these clubs. Penalty box if you wanted to rock out. I mean,
oh wow.
So we're running out of time. Guys,
Right.
running out of time. But I do want to real quick before we end the show, go around real quick and keep it short, please. Something that really, if there was one good memory or something about the nightclubs, like I'll start with Ed. Ed, what was one thing about the clubs that you're like, I love this?
That's real easy. Just being around people that had the same interest.
Yeah.
Had fun. Everybody got along. There was no fights, no shootings, no stabbings, no nothing. You know what I mean? Everybody got along. There was a lot of fun in nightclubs back then.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different story because there really is no place for anybody to go. But basically, it was just hanging out with everybody, all the friends, getting drunk, having a good time. You know what I mean? No egos, nothing like that. That's what I miss. That's what I miss, big time.
Matt, what about you?
Definitely just, as Ed was saying, just meeting different people. There were people I met at some of the nightclubs that in a traditional setting, I probably never would have talked to, never would have thought I'd be friends with. But because you were in that club and you were enjoying whatever was going on in that club, you started talking and found out there were other things you had in common as well. And maybe you weren't hanging out all the time, doing everything together, but you were enjoying yourselves at the club. And, you had these, new group of friends that you could always count on seeing at the club.
Just to jump in as Rob, I want to explain Matt real quick. Matt used to go to strip clubs, and he used to say, I like seeing women naked. And they would be like, well, we like being naked. Well, I guess we have something in common. So anyway, now go.
No, what I was going to ask Matt real quick, Matt, were you into going to strip clubs back in the day or back to clubs? Because I know you liked back.
Well, I like both. I mean, you go to clubs with certain people. Now, we started going to the strip clubs because I had a certain friend that worked a towing job on the weekend. So he was working Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. He was doing tows for AAA. So we'd end up going to show and tell bar on Monday night because it was bring your own. It was bring your own bottle because it was all nude. So you'd buy a 30-pack, you'd have three of us, and we'd hang out. So
we'll dedicate a show to strip joints anyway. But strip clubs are clubs, just like anything else. Just that the women are more naked than they used to be. Ray, you actually, Ray, is there one thing you could sit there and say that you really like when you went into a club? That's what you looked for, or that's what you really liked?
Yeah, I think there was. I want to also congratulate Matt because I like a good ball gag once in a while too, Matt. I think with me, if the DJ was really good, people were going to come out and see you every weekend. So you got like a clientele of friends where you didn't even have to ask. You knew who was going to be there because they liked what you did, and you had a group of friends that were just absolutely awesome. They treated you not like they were patrons, like they were your friends. And I think
is that as a DJ you're talking about? But we're talking. That's because I was going to give two ways too. But say what you liked about going out, not just as a DJ.
Personally like to go out for a night out.
Yeah, you enjoy and go out. What is something?
I think Eddie C hit it the best when you could go out and have fun, and you didn't have to look at where the exit doors were. You didn't have to learn how to drop and roll through the aisles because somebody was going to shoot you.
Yeah, now they do that in the beginning when you come in.
I think it was the love and the camaraderie of going out and knowing that you were going to have a good time and then coming home safe at night. I think that's something that's missing today.
Nowadays, the cha-cha slide has a completely different meaning.
So I'm going to tell mine real quick.
Yeah,
so two things. One, as a person going out to a place, one place I did love going to was Pulsations because it was very different.
Mm-hmm.
Like the robot, come on. Like, who does that?
And you know what?
That was so cool.
At Pulsations, the counter, what you're saying too, one night I was at Pulsations and literally I was talking to this one girl at the bar and I was hitting on this girl and the song Erotica came on from Madonna. That was brand new. That was brand new at that time, right?
Right.
And for some reason, I literally in mid-sentence stopped talking to this girl and I spun my seat around to turn around because there was a girl. For some reason, I knew this was happening. There was this girl that was on a riser that was dancing to Erotica, and her body was so fucking off the hook that it was like mesmerizing. It was like watching a vampire. You know what I mean? Like when a vampire gets you in the eyes, and you're like, "Yes, master." Like that's exactly what it was. The girl I was talking to literally walked away because I turned around and ignored her because I was like, holy shit, look at this girl's hips. And I was just like mesmerized. I was at Paul
On the bike squad.
We had a great time today, guys. Once again, we have a great crew here. Fast Eddie C, always a pleasure with him. We got DJ Matt Sunner, we got Dr. Rock Ray Thomas, we got Rob Cannon.
Yo,
my name is Danny J. Until next time, we'll see you
after dark.
After dark.
Like the sun's coming up. Was that as good for you as it was for me? Join us next time for DJs After Dark. Looks like the sun's coming up. Was that as good for you as it was for me? Join us next time for DJs After Dark.